Hello everyone, Josh First back again bringing you guys some more 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, and today I'm going to be telling you guys all about how to link up characters, the importance of linking characters, and all that good stuff that you need to know in between. Alright, so let's get started. So you'll see here, this is my actual farm team. I am running Bon, Gila, I'm running our boy Hauser, and Arthur. Now, my Hauser and my Arthur are both 6 out of 6 on ults, my Gil Thunder 6 out of 6, and my Vine Height and Jericho are 6 out of 6. Not my Merlin. She is still, I believe, 1 out of 6. And Bon is 2 out of 6. And Gila is 4 out of 6, I believe. So that is the actual breakdown when it comes to ultimates. And you're probably wondering, why'd you tell me that? Well, it's going to be important here shortly in the video. So that's why I said it. But anywho, let's go ahead and talk about these links, these little characters right here that are kind of attached to your characters that you're using in your core teams. So I'm going to say this right off the bat. Linking heroes and building up your link heroes is very, very important, very vital to your account, because not only does it improve your overall team, your individual characters in said team, but it also improves your CC values, especially if you're trying to go first when you're, dealing with PvE content or geared or ungeared PvP. So a lot of things here to consider and understand when it comes to linking characters that I hope a lot of you will find very useful. And for those of you who already know about all this, good job. But anywho, so you'll see here that we actually have our girl Green Jericho linked to Bon, and you're probably wondering, why are those two linking together? What is that little symbol that looks like two hands holding each other in cross swords above it? Well, there's actually three different types of links. There's no association links, there's special association links, and then there's like what I like to call the union ship. And the union ship are the ones that have the cross swords. The special association are the ones that just look like two hands holding each other, and the ones that have no association at all have nothing. So if you look down here, for example, on this particular Bon, our Jerichos here, all three of them have a union ship. And what a union ship allows you to do basically is it allows you to get the combo on your ultimates for SSR heroes. So every SSR hero has technically two ultimates. They're technically the same thing, but one has a higher multiplier than the other. The higher multiplier is when you link them up with their union ship companion, which in this case would be Green Jericho for our boy Green Bon, or either of these two Jerichos as well. So that's one thing to understand. Now, if we wanted to link him up with, say, this Fat King, he has a special association, which you can see down here. He gets 1220 HP from linking him up, but he will no longer be able to get that combo or that combined skill, as I call it, for his ultimate. So he's going to be using the lesser version of his ultimate in this case, but he will be picking up 1220 HP from the special association. Now, if I try to link him up to a hero that has nothing, like an Arthur, for example, all he's going to get is the base stats. That's it. He's going to get the 10% base stats, which we're going to talk about. This is why I brought up ultimates earlier in the video. We're going to mention that in a moment. But you can see here we're getting no special stat because he has no association to Arthur. Now, if you actually look at my stats here, our king linked up with this Green Jericho is sitting on 9,480 attack. Now, if I was to link him up with this Jericho, yes, he would still get the combined skill for his ultimate, but he'd be losing so much stats. And you're probably wondering, why is he losing so much stats? The reason for that is really a few things. For one, that Jericho is only level 1 SR, so she has no investment enhancement-wise. She is not an SSR, so she's losing base stats that way. She's not a UR, so she's losing stats that way. She has no awakens, so she's losing stats that way. She has no gear on her, so that's even more stats that she's not getting. And she does not have any dupes invested into her for her ultimate. Because the way ultimates work for linking up is you start at 5%, whatever this Jericho, this one right here, whatever her base stats are, and by the way, if you don't know what base stats are, that's attack, defense, and HP. Whatever those three stats are, you're going to get 5% of them applied to this Bon on top of whatever his stats are. Now, the way it works is if you have no dupes, if you're at skill 1 out of 6, skill level 1 out of 6 on your ultimate, you're going to get 5%, and you're going to gain 1% per ultimate fed in for a maximum of 10%. So my Jericho, my green one, since her ult is 6 out of 6, she's giving my Bond 10% of her base stats and applying it to Bond. So he's getting a nice big jump, which you can see when I just cancel this out. So you can see there, back up to 9,480. But if I go to someone else that's not developed up at all, it goes really low. So it's very important to awaken your characters that you're linking up, that you plan on using long term. It's important to put good gear on those characters, like HP. Try to get HP, attack, and defense as much as you can out of that gear for said character if they're linking up. That way it further increases the base stats of the character you're linking to. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. And all that good stuff. Now, gear that you're giving to your linked heroes will not apply in ungeared PvP. And I'll show you guys what I mean by that here in a few moments as well. That's just one thing to understand, because some of you may get a little bit confused looking at your numbers, and then you go to ungeared PvP and be like, okay, why is my CC not as high as it should be? Why does my stats look a little off? That's going to be why. It's because ungeared PvP, whatever gear you give to your link heroes does not get applied, where it does in all the other modes, including geared PvP, which is where it's going to be very important for CC values and getting base stats up on all your characters, because obviously you're going to be taking on a lot of people running their high quality gear and their link characters, so it's going to become a bloodbath if you're like 20-30k CC short of your opponent, because woof, you know what I mean? So that's definitely one thing you want to understand with that. So hopefully I've explained those, and you can see here again, if we just remove that Jericho, that's his base stats, 8122, and then if we give him the Jericho, it goes up to 9480, and you can see here the special association effect, he's going to get 280 for his attack on that, plus 10% of my Jericho's stats. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Now if we open up my Jericho, I'm sorry, that's the wrong page. If we open up my Jericho here, you can see here that she has 8100 attack, so 10% of that attack is being applied to my Bond. So that's where he's getting that jump from. 10% of her defense, because she is again maxed out on her ult. So he's getting the full 10% from her base stats, and then he's also getting 10% from her HP. So for example, if you have 100,000 HP, you're going to give Bond 10k more HP to himself when they're linked up together. Simple enough, right? And why it's important to awaken the characters and level them up is because when you level them up, the higher you go, the higher the base stats get. The more you awaken them, the higher their base stats get. And the more gear you put on them, right here, as you can see, we're getting like almost 2,500 from attack. The more better gear you put on them to up this stat, and the HP, the more you're going to also give to your link partner. So I hope that a lot of you are following that by now. And there's also one more way you can also increase that. Excuse me, costumes. You have costumes, you have weapons, and you have cosmetics, and of course you can have 5 of each of these 3 categories equipped at one time. So as you can see here, I can only have 5 of these swords equipped. I can't have the 6th one equipped. So if you go and whale out on a lot of costumes, you're definitely going to want to try and equip the top 5 that better boost your character in the way you want them to, and those stats will be applied. As you can see here, from weapons alone, I'm getting 720 more additional attack, so it's upping her attack value, which allows this number to get higher, which allows when I link to her, or link to him rather, this number gets higher. So there you guys go. Awakening characters, leveling them up and evolving them, giving them different costumes, unlocking their costumes, all that stuff leads, and of course building up their ultimates is one of the big ones as well. All that goes into building up your character's relationship with its link and giving them better stats. So it is very important. So like I said, like really you're pretty much building up 8 characters in endgame, minimum 8 characters, because you're going to be running a 4-person squad, and you're going to want, of course, a strong link partner with them. And in some cases, of those 8 characters that you build up minimum, you could even flip some of them around and use them the other way. You could use some in the main team and some as the link, which I could show you guys right here as a good example. You see here, now my Jericho's in the main squad alongside Bond, and now I have Gila linked to Jericho instead of being in the main team. And if you look at my my Gila, I believe she is not max 6 out of 6. I believe she's like 4 or 5 maybe. She is 4. So I'm only getting 8% stats instead of 10. So if I would get 2 more dupes for my Gila, and if I'd awaken her a couple more times, which you can see here, get another 3,500 HP and get 400 attack and 240 defense, I would, you know, make her a even better Link companion with my Jericho, which would get her stats up even higher for ungeared PvP or even normal PvP or any game mode. Now that that's all out of the way, and you guys hopefully understand all the different ways to link up characters, the last thing I want to show you is the fact that giving gear to your Link characters does not affect your ungeared PvP team. So you'll see here my team CC is 94-138. As an example, my Gilthunder right now linked to my Bon is giving him up to 5230 on attack. So let me go ahead and take all my gear off of my Gilthunder. Let's go in here. Let's remove gear. Now his attack's down to 3601 for him, and it should not affect my Bon in any way, which you guys can see right there. My team C is still 94,138. His attack is still 5230. So the only stats I'm getting right now in ungeared PvP from my Link companion is whatever stats my character is pulling outside of gear. That means costumes are still being applied. And let me show you one more example. Look at his attack. Bon is 5230. Let me go to my closet. Let me go to my closet. Let me find his weapon. Now these 4 weapons are applied. Let me go ahead and remove one. Now my attack just went down slightly. And again, Bon was at 5230 linked to Gilthunder. Now my Bon is at 5218. So it slightly affected my CP. Now it's 94,126. So that's how you can, that's for the most part how you can kind of manipulate and adjust your CC values and your stat values for your teams, for all the different content in the game. And the only real different one is of course ungeared, because gear on your links does not matter in ungeared. It does not get applied. So that's the only difference. Everything else is the same as I've already said. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like today's video. Comment below what you guys think. Tick notifications. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here to the I almost said to the channel again. I can't even talk, guys. I can't even talk. The coronavirus is messing up my brain. Anyways, I'm going to catch you guys all in the next one. Until then, have an awesome day wherever you are, as always. And don't forget to join us in the Discord below. Peace.